Hey, what's up? Fosh bringing you Gingitsune, episode 2, and this is kind of an interesting episode because we get to meet a new character. And to start things off, you get a little recap from Makoto explaining the shrine again. I guess from the first episode, they kind of, I think they skipped over most of that, and she's basically just kind of tells us again about the shrine, why, what their shrine is about, the god of agriculture and stuff like that. And we quickly go to the school with Makoto again, obviously running late, like always. And these girls are just playing volleyball, getting ready to play. And Makoto's kind of hanging out with their two friends, and all of a sudden Yumi, the girl from the first episode that had problems with her boyfriend, comes up to her and just was like, you know, just talking to her and just kind of being friendly, just making fun of the fact that her fortune telling isn't that great. And she kind of like winks at her, like telling her I won't tell anyone about the fortunes, and things like that. But apparently the whole school knows about it. But yeah. But anyway, we meet the new character, Hawako, which is she's got like long black hair and she's wears glasses and she's the I guess student council president of the school for their classroom, and she's just kind of this do good kind of character. She's likes doing all the obeys the school rules, and she's like the model student, just basically does everything right and everything. And she kind of looks down at Yumi. She's basically asks the girls, well, there's 6 of you, and we need to play some volleyball because I have 6 over here. And she's basically just like, I don't want to, you know, can't you see I'm busy doing something else right now? And Hawako kind of mouths off to her that, you know, you're not making everyone's lives at the school any easier. You're just basically you're causing everyone problems right now. And Yumi kind of takes it as an insult, and she just kind of like, you know, says something to her and just walks off, and her two friends kind of follow back behind her. And before Hawako kind of walks off, she kind of looks at Makoto and just says to her, you know, you shouldn't be hanging out with those two people, and since you work at a shrine, you should be more worried about, you know, rumors of you being able to read fortunes. The whole school knows now. So Makoto kind of like takes everything that Hawako said to heart, and just goes home to complain to Gintaro, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, Hawako goes to her house, and I guess she's from a tea ceremony family, and everything about them is kind of proper and everything like that. But she gets home and she kind of goes to see her mom and asks about her dad, who's overseas working. And the mom just kind of doesn't really talk to her daughter. She's just like, you get to work, and basically we have Hawako going to work, I guess. She works at this shrine, or this tea house, so it was kind of just, you know, you can see that her home life's not really that great. Even though she's got all this money and she's wealthy, her home life's not very good. She's very bored at the house. And then we get with Gintaro Makoto. She's kind of just telling Gintaro all the stuff that happened at school. How, you know, she kind of feels hurt by Hawako saying that to her, that she should stay away from Yumi and her friends and just don't get near her, and just how she's kind of being a bad student by hanging out with her. And Gintaro kind of sees the other side. He doesn't mind Hawako. He's like, he kind of sees her in the right. He's kind of almost respects that she speaks her mind, doesn't really hold back. So I guess Makoto used to be like that back in the day, and yeah, it's just kind of, I guess, going to school has kind of changed her a little bit. And then next day we have Yume. Her friends just mess with Hawako by, I guess they're supposed to turn some papers, and they just didn't do it. And it makes Hawako look bad in the teachers. They're kind of like, well, whatever. And then Yume kind of runs up to Makoto later on. She's like, I got in a fight with my mom. I need a place to stay, so can I stay at your house? And it's like, Makoto's kind of like, well, I can't really say no, but she just agrees to it, and she kind of runs off to the bathroom to, you know, do whatever. And she walks in there, and Hawako's kind of being pushed into the corner by Yumi's friends. And they even pull Makoto in there, and they kind of, you know, they don't fight, they just kind of get ready like they're going to do something, they're going to mess with these two girls. And before anything happens, Yume walks in and just kind of looks at her friends like, what are you two doing? You know, what are you girls doing? She's my problem, to get out of it. And she kind of scares them off, and they walk off. And then we have Hawako kind of breaks down, kind of screaming and hollering at Yumi, just like, you know, It's your fault you're doing all this, and I'm just trying to do the right thing, and you're just not obeying the rules, and you just think all these things about me, but they're not true. And it's weird that Makoto kind of just stands here and watches you argue, and she just like tries to calm them down. And she even invites Hawako to come stay the night at her house too. It's kind of funny. And they're all kind of three look at each other like, well, I guess. And Hawako and Yume kind of agree to just, you know, put the past behind them and just move on with their lives. But they go to her house and they go to Makoto's place and they kind of run into this old woman and she explains the shrine, how it works, how humans walk on the left side so the gods can walk down the center of the shrine, because she saw all the girls walking in the center of the stairs. She was kind of like telling them, you know, the right way to do it is to stay on the left side so the gods can do that. And the girls kind of think it's kind of silly, but Hawako kind of respects it, and she's like, okay, and they kind of obey the rules, and they kind of learn a little bit about the shrine with Makoto's dad. He kind of explains some things, and Makoto even talks about Gintara, how she can see the spirit, and Yume kind of doesn't. She kind of thinks it's silly, but Hawako kind of like believes her, and it's kind of funny. These three girls kind of, you can see how different they are. I mean, you have Makoto, she's kind of shy and quick to cry. She's basically a big crybaby sometimes. And we have Yume, which is like kind of the quote-unquote badass of the school. She's seen as this troublemaker, and no one really sees her as a. She won't amount to much. What most people would say about her. Then you have the proper Hawako, who's the class president, and you know, obeys all the rules. So it's kind of interesting to see these three very different characters come together at the end. How you can see the friendship slowly forming between these three girls. And the girls even kind of question their future. Yeah, Yume wants to be a veterinarian, but she's not very good at studying. And Hawako kind of tells her, well, I'll help you study. You know, you can do that. And so you can see the two of them kind of becoming friends slowly. And I think this is all just about just getting to know someone. And from the last stuff, I just want to mention Hawako, we see her in the opening wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. So I'm like, is she gonna change like what she wants to do, careers? But I'm not sure Shrine Maiden's a career, but who knows, maybe it is. And the last thing would be, it's fun watching Makoto and Gintaro talk. And he kind of just pushing her to be more outgoing. He's kind of, you can see him kind of help her with that. And she kind of just, you know, listens to him. And he just wants, like I said, he just wants her to be like she used to be back in the day. He kind of mentions that since you can see me, it's just weird how you're not as outgoing and you don't speak your mind as you used to now that you can see me. So I think that's going to be interesting between them, to seeing how their relationship grows. And most people I know wanted to see some romance, but I'm like, I don't see it between those two. I mean, I'm hoping Makoto has some kind of romance, but I'm not really expecting it. I mean, this series, I think it's going to be more about friendship between like people that don't get along. I know we keep seeing this guy in the opening who has a demon and he has a sword, so I'm like, maybe he's a possible love interest, but I don't know. I don't think this series is going to be a romance series. So. Anyway, that's been this series, Gingitsune. See you next time for episode 3, and peace.